Hey everybody, I'm CJ, and the uh, boy, the reaction to news that Warner Brothers is going to release all of their 2021 movies in tandem with a release both in theaters and HBO Max, it has royally pissed a lot of people off, and I find it kind of interesting that the majority of the uh, responses coming from, or at least the most notable response that's been coming from the decision makers behind this, the most notable one has been the unfortunately named John Stankey, AT&T CEO. And basically, there's a lot of corporate boilerplate sort of bullshit that's coming through on this. And I think the most important thing that we can do is just sort of rise above the weeds here. Um, Basically, it. Trying to think of the best way to put this. If if the reaction to this news from the rest of Hollywood is anything to go by, I mean, this pretty much tells us everything that we need to know about who's really making the decisions around here. Who's really making the decisions for Warner Brothers? Because apparently, some people have, and I'm talking about Hollywood here, the trades, Hollywood talent, directors, actors, producers, so forth. These people, the Hollywood community, they've watched every decision that has been coming out of Warner Brothers, and through it all, they somehow convinced themselves that basically nothing had changed with Warner Brothers. Basically, everything, Warner Brothers was the studio that they had always been. And what this news really does is show the rest of the Hollywood community that Warner Brothers is no longer part of their, I'm going to try to be polite here. They're no longer part of their fraternity. All right. AT&T is the business entity that's calling all the shots right now. And there's probably no reason to think that's ever going to change. And what I think the real issue going on with all of this hostile reaction, probably the most obvious example is Chris Nolan, but there have been plenty of other people losing their cookies over this. I think the real explanation for this is they assumed that everything was going to be business as usual with Warner Brothers, and then they woke up one morning to find out, no, it's not going to be business as usual. the the fact is, AT&T has basically canceled Warner Brothers' membership in the Hollywood cult. You know, the suicide pact that is Hollywood. AT&T basically took one look at that and said, "No, we're not doing that." And that's caught a lot of people by surprise. And I think that honestly, when you get too focused on when you get too focused on what this person or what that person is saying, how they're reacting to this news, you're I think you run the risk of missing the point. You know, the what I think the reality is, and maybe I'm wrong. It's not like I know everything. But what I think the reality of the situation is, it comes down to the fact that AT&T is basically choosing a new destiny for Warner Brothers, and at the end of the day, that's what has everybody truly upset. And they're basically upsetting the apple cart. And the reality is, Chris Nolan can say anything he wants. But guys, just think about it. There's probably not one movie studio to be found anywhere in Hollywood that can guarantee Nolan a theatrical release. So he can lose his temper and say all kinds of things in public, but at the end of the day, where else is he going to go? What else can he do? And I think the answer is nothing. And the other thing to keep in mind is this isn't going to change anytime soon. I mean, the advisors that basically told AT&T this was their best move, they're saying the same thing to everyone else in Hollywood. Now, whether everyone else in Hollywood follows that advice or not, who can say? But you're kidding yourself if you think there won't be other studios who won't follow Warner Brothers' lead. All right, and at least a few of them are going to make basically the same decision as Warner Brothers. I imagine there will be at least one studio, possibly two, who are going to tempt fate in 2021 and try to do business as usual. And I think they're going to pay the price for it. And I don't know. It's amusing watching all of this. It's kind of funny to see people like Chris Nolan, who seems like a nice guy, but it is kind of funny to watch him finally open up on somebody, because all through his career, I'm at a real loss to think of a time he's ever trash talked anybody. I think this is his first time, and boy, did he nuke Warner Brothers for Morbid. But like I say, he's got limited options. The rest of Hollywood, they've got limited options. I mean, streaming is no longer the future. It's the present. And the movie studios who get on board with that are going to be the ones that survive. So anyway, it's just kind of funny watching all this. And like I say, it removes any doubt that anybody should have ever had that AT&T they are now exercising full control over Warner Brothers. And speaking only for myself, I think it's funny, but I also think there's going to be some good things that come out of this. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm CJ, and that's that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, comment, like, and share this video because it really helps me out. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Cole Loves Comics.